Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are in episode 4 talking about GI distress and pathology. And I want to lean back a little bit toward how we started off this whole series, Adam, with the feature interview I did with Dr. Gabrielle Fundero. And I almost feel bad because once you get kind of known for something, that's what everybody wants to talk to you about. So, you know, I had her on specifically to talk about the gut microbiome, which is what she's really done a lot of her research in and just is very interested in what that does for our health. And interestingly, in pop culture, of course, everybody just wants a pill, you know, a quick fix. And so anytime you have GI problems, people say, oh, I'll fix this by taking a handful of enzymes, or I need probiotics, or then prebiotics came on the scene. And so everybody just wants to fix their issue by taking something else, which can actually compound it. So everything we've talked about so far about reducing the problems, that's where you have to start. But I really do want to chat a little bit about what some of the misconceptions are in the gut itself when it comes to all these bacteria. So you mentioned to me, Adam, that this is not exactly your field of expertise.
Not at all. Like, I get clients that drink the kombucha tea, and there's just thousands and millions of microbiome, and you can just really get lost when you get into that. It's very overwhelming.
Well, I appreciate that honesty because I wish everybody was like that. If, you know, I'm the same way. If I don't know something about it, I'll say I'm punting. You need to go talk to this person. But, you know, the real issue is we do have just millions and millions of different types of bacterial microbes that create the flora. And those things can change a lot based on, you know, just week to week, the foods we're consuming. Everything we consume is basically a prebiotic. It's going to feed the bacteria in there. And so whatever you're consuming that feeds one strain, you know, maybe starving another, you may have a cold and you take an antibiotic, or you may have a bout of, you know, GI distress like diarrhea, and that kind of flushes you out. It's constantly in flux. And you can't just keep pumping things in there like probiotics. They often cause problems because you're creating more of an unnatural balance. So I really want to get people out of the mindset that you must go take something else and fix it. Let's start by eliminating the things that are causing the problems. And then, you know, I've really found that something like a good probiotic, which is literally replenishing some of the bacteria, particularly the good strains, a lot of times the doses that are recommended are just too high. You know, whatever brand you might purchase, you could see, oh, they want you to take 2 capsules 3 times a day forever. That can just purge you and create all kinds of further distress. So I've really found in people that sometimes I'll have to say, look, take half a capsule, like open it up, dump half out, and just take half of one capsule. And they'll say, wow, that really, you know, did the trick. And I'll say, okay, do that every other day for a week or so. You just don't have to take as much. And the whole prebiotic thing, I think is, I don't want to say it's a joke, but like I said, it's just literally carbohydrates. It's just different levels, different types of carbohydrates to, you know, feed the bacteria that are there. I'd kind of rather just do that with the food I'm consuming. You don't need to take an expensive capsule of different types of carb strains for that. But I think there are also things that people can do, Adam, like, you know, good fats. We've talked about fiber, we've talked about starch and things like that, but sometimes, you know, a little extra oil, a little olive oil on a salad, or flaxseed oil in your oatmeal or protein shake creates kind of a demulcent or emollient, you know, in the bolus formation that is just easier to pass. And so, you know, that's one of the ways you can, you know, help yourself get rid of constipation. But when you talk about the gut microbiome itself, are there stories or things you're hearing people pick up from pop culture?
Yeah, I'm seeing testing kits for it too, and I'm not sure how accurate they are because all of them say that they're not evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. And that's where kind of my problem with it has always been that, again, like, we want to talk big picture, just kind of like you said, with protein, carbs, and fats and fixing the big things. This is just such a, I mean, I don't want to say it's a small component because it is a big component, but the ability to control that aspect of your diet is very, very difficult. And I just don't really believe in these testing kits, these blood kits. And a lot of this gets into back to our naturopath kind of series because there's just kind of minimal research on it. So if you can take shit and wrap it up in a gift bag, you can sell it to anybody. And not saying there's some merit to it, but there's a lot more research that needs to be done.
No, I totally agree. And I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to go exactly there. I believe Dr. Fundero herself even mentioned that. It's akin to some of the food allergy testing done. A lot of these labs that are used primarily by naturopaths, simply for things like allergy testing, they'll do, they'll say they're checking for IgE and IgG, reaction types. And they're just not, because you can't do that from a stool sample because those things are so transient, and it's not like an instant blood prick scratch test where you're seeing exactly what you're allergic to. And these are the same in my opinion. They're just not going to show you what is truly there. And even if they're getting some kind of a glimpse, it's just too transient. So let's wrap this up. I do, anybody who's interested in the gut microbiome, go back to our feature with Dr. Fundero, because she definitely has some insight and goes through some of the research. But Adam and I are going to move on to wrap this up in the next 2 episodes, talking about what you can really do to have better GI health and what it can mean for you.